Mafia is one of my favorite franchises, guys, out there, and I have wanted to see a continuation of this title, of this IP, and because I think there's really something special there. I do believe that there's been a number of reasons why we haven't seen a new Mafia up to this point in time, and I'll get to that here shortly. But I want to talk about in this segment of the show, will there be a Mafia 4? I think, we've talked about earlier in the show, we've talked about Alan Wake and that future of that franchise or of that IP, Dead Space, the future there. Now with Mafia 4. We've talked a lot on the YouTube channel about the Mafia franchise. You guys can check out all of that content. But Mafia 4 in particular is one that many of us are talking about. That being us in the community, and something that we absolutely want to see. I believe that it definitely needs to happen, guys. We got the definitive edition here in 2020, which I thought was great, right? Absolutely awesome. I'm glad that they brought this thing out, and I think that there is a lot of really special things to it. I love it from a graphical perspective, and just all of those things, guys. It was just awesome to be able to play like a remastered version of Mafia 2. It's been a number of years since we had Mafia 3. Mafia 3, guys, it came out in 2016, just as a refresher. And so we've been waiting. We've been waiting and waiting for a continuation of this franchise, if there was going to be one. Now, many people believed that Mafia 4 was not going to happen because of Mafia 3 and, the general reception about Mafia 3. I enjoyed Mafia 3. It was not as good as the first two. I thought the second one was probably my favorite. The first one has a ton of nostalgia, so I absolutely loved the first one. But I really enjoyed the second game. The third one, I'm not going to say I disliked it. I liked it. I just didn't like it as much as the first two. So where does that leave us? Well, at the end of the day, guys, there's two things. The first one is the general reception of a title, and the second part of it is, the sales. Those are the two things that can make and break a franchise, or continue it, or put it into a limbo state, or a state of no return. And so here's what we know. We know that Mafia has sold well. We know the definitive edition, up to this point, it seems like it's selling well. We don't know as of quite yet what the sales of definitive edition are, but it seems like it's probably going to be somewhat of a success. There's been a lot of talk about a Mafia 4. There's been leaks that have come out stating that it's going to be based in Las Vegas, which would be absolutely incredible. That right there, the setting is usually everything when we talk about one of these Mafia titles, and I think that could very well be, if done right, could be one of the best in the franchise up to this point. But here's the thing, guys. Will there be a Mafia 4? I do believe there will. But if this franchise is going to sustain itself and it's going to continue after Mafia 4, there are some things that need to happen. And I've stated this, guys, on the YouTube channel ad nauseum at this point about all these different IPs, all these different franchises that we talk about here. Whether they are franchises that have had continuations or franchises that are in a limbo state or are, in a development health cycle. There are, these titles have so much potential, like Mafia, for example, has so much potential to be something absolutely incredible. And it's great for what it is, but if we're honest about it, after you're done playing the campaign, you're waiting for the DLC to come out. Or you play the game over again, maybe on a harder difficulty. You go try to find some collectibles, whatever it might be, explore the city. And then once those DLCs come out, that gives you some more content to take in, usually a few hours worth of content. What I'm getting at here, guys, is full packages. We need full packages, and Mafia is no different. It needs to have a full campaign as it has had. It needs co-op modes and multiplayer modes. I'll give you an example. We have Grand Theft Auto. GTA Online comes out, guys, and it's one of the biggest things out there when we talk about multiplayer modes in any title out there. And the reason is, guys, is because it gives you something to do outside of the campaign, outside of that story mode. You can play with your friends and things of that nature. Imagine a Mafia Online. I can see it. I think it could be absolutely incredible. And it could really keep you coming back to the title over and over again. even just having a more standard multiplayer where it's PvP or PvE, or if it's, you are at least able to play with your friends in co-op modes. I think that's very important. Up to this point, Mafia has only been a single player experience, and I think it's important that they evolve that. And maybe, just maybe, that is why we haven't gotten an announcement of a Mafia 4 yet, because Hangar 13 is working very hard behind the scenes to make those things happen. So, look, as far as from a publisher's perspective, 2K Games are the ones who are the publishers of the Mafia series. They are also the publishers of Grand Theft Auto. So you would think that this would have happened a while ago, having a full package like Grand Theft Auto has. Mafia, in my opinion, I've stated this many times, guys, I've always liked Mafia as far as from a story perspective, have liked it much more than GTA. I love the story of Mafia. I think it's very well done. But where GTA has done, a much better job than that of Mafia is by constantly evolving to co-op modes, to multiplayer modes. Mafia has kind of stayed stationary. They stayed in one place. And over time, guys, that can really hurt a franchise. And so here's what I'm hoping happens here in the future. I hope we get an announcement first and foremost for Mafia 4, but then on top of that, we get a full package out of it. We get announced that there's going to be an online mode as well as co-op modes. And, I do think that there is going to be a Mafia 4. Now, when it will come out, I would assume, guys, because of everything going on in our world right now, we're probably going to get an announcement in 2021. I would say the game will probably come out in 2022. The big question, though, is are they working on like multiple definitive editions, or are they just going to be doing the one and now they're, or they have multiple teams that are working on different Mafia titles, like, different definitive editions as well as, Mafia 4. It's hard to say. I would say that we're going to get an announcement next year, 2021. And then hopefully we get the title in 2022, depending on how far along they are. The one thing I will say is, I'm okay with waiting for a while. If we're going to be waiting for something that is, has a full package, something that is, multiplayer modes, co-op modes, campaign, take your time, Hangar 13, just take your time. Deliver something to us where we can come back to over and over again, years to come after the game releases. There's so much content even outside the campaign that we can take in. That's what I want to see, and fingers crossed on that. But at the end of the day, guys, Mafia 4, I believe, is going to come out unless that it goes into a development hell cycle, or there's creative differences, or they just don't really, 2K doesn't like the direction that Mafia is going in. But I think that Las Vegas is a great setting for this next title. I want to hear from you guys, though. What do you think? Do you think we're going to get a Mafia 4 at some point or another? Would you guys want to see a full package out of Mafia, or just what we've been having, just a single-player story? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Mafia 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.